The old man's hands shook as he cradled the whiskey glass, his fingers stained with the dirt of a life hard lived. His voice, when it came, was low and gravelly, like he'd been dragging it across the black tar roads of time. No one had asked him for a story, but in that run-down bar, under the flickering lights that seemed to barely keep the shadows at bay, no one dared interrupt him either. "I woke up in midnight," he said, eyes lost somewhere far beyond the grime-streaked windows. Didn't know how, didn't know why, just opened my eyes and there it was, that cursed town, a place no one's supposed to know about. He paused, the words hanging in the thick air like smoke. There was this weight on me. Not physical, no, but like something was pressing on my soul. The kind of weight that makes you feel like you've already been buried, but you're still breathing. I stood up in the middle of a street I'd never seen, and I felt it. That wrongness, the sky. It was stuck in some kind of hellish twilight. Neither day nor night, just this bruised purple light. No sun, no moon, just a sky that felt like it was watching me. The patrons leaned in, the sounds of their drinks and idle conversation long forgotten. His voice turned quieter, raspier, like he didn't want to disturb something that might be listening. I don't know how long I wandered, but the town, it was alive. It moved when I wasn't looking. Every street twisted back on itself, and the buildings, they leaned over me like they were breathing, like they were waiting. He shook his head, and a ghost of a shudder passed through his body. I tried calling out, tried finding someone, anyone, but there wasn't no one. Not at first, and then the shadows moved. Not normal shadows, no, they slithered, crawled along the ground like they were dragging themselves from one place to another, looking for something, looking for me. He leaned forward, his voice now barely more than a whisper. I don't know if I was dreaming, but I swear to God I started hearing voices. Not like people talking, more like a hum or a chant, deep from the belly of the earth. No words I could make out, but I felt them. They wormed into my mind, turned my thoughts inside out. I tried to run, but midnight didn't let me go. Every time I turned a corner, I ended up right where I started. He swallowed hard, eyes darting to the door, as if checking to make sure it hadn't somehow followed him here. And then I saw the people. The air seemed to thicken, pressing in on everyone in the room. They weren't people anymore. Something had taken them. Their faces were hollowed out, their eyes gone, and what was left was just blackness, an emptiness that stared back at me. They didn't speak, didn't scream, they just watched, drifting like shadows, waiting for me to slip. His hands tightened around the glass, and he took a long, desperate drink. And then came the bell, that damn bell. It tolled midnight, clear as day, but there was no bell tower, no clock, just the sound echoing through the streets like the whole town was breathing in time with it. Each toll dug deeper into my skull, like the town was marking me. I knew that if that bell finished, there'd be no more running. I'd be part of it, like them. I don't know how I got out. One second I'm running, the next I'm lying in a ditch back on the highway. Midnight, it was gone. Just like it never existed, but I remember every goddamn second of it, clear as day. Don't go looking for it. Midnight finds you, not the other way around. And if it does, if you wake up there one night, you won't be as lucky as I was. You won't make it out. No one ever does. The door creaked open with a gust of cold air, but no one moved. The old man stood, tossing a few bills on the counter without looking back. As he disappeared into the night, the bar fell into an uneasy silence. Somewhere, In the distance, a faint toll echoed, and the patrons held their breath as it rang out across the silence in 12 chilling notes. Midnight had come.